So we're going to speak about the vayus, the subtle body, you know. So we're speaking about prana and how it is important, with the Tantric Hatha way, we work with prana dharana, harnessing prana. You should be harnessing prana when you're teaching yoga to pregnant ladies, but you're not wanting to do it in such a powerful way that it's going to really affect, it might affect them adversely, if they're not used to practicing yoga. But it's always going to be there. That's why we exist. Prana is always there. So we're not trying to pretend it's not there. We're just working with our practice a little bit differently. But I think working with the vayus, so I'm aware that some of you guys are very aware of the vayus, and some yoga teachers aren't. It depends on who you did your teacher training with. But the vayus are really important, I think. And once you understand the vayus a little bit, it really helps your practice. So vayus mean wind, and in Hindu philosophy, Vayu is the god of the wind. He's one of the main gods mentioned in the Vedas, and his element is air. And he's one aspect of the supreme, and he's residing in the Anahata chakra. So through the exploration of the body and the breath, the ancient yogis discovered that prana could be further subdivided into energetic components that they called vayus. So like the wind, they're a force of their own right, and they govern many physical functions within the body. The 5 vayus of prana, all very subtle, yet distinct and energetic qualities, including specific functions and directions of flow. So the yogis were able to control and cultivate these vayus by bringing their focus and awareness to them. So through this conscious control and cultivation, they were not only able to create optimum health and well-being, but they're able to activate Kundalini energy to obtain states of enlightened samadhi. So complete mastery, however, over the vayus is not necessary to benefit from using them to improve our inward focus and the ability to feel the subtleties within the body. Cultivating a body awareness, a basic awareness of one of the more vayus will help us deepen our awareness of body and breath to enrich our yogic practice. So the 2 main vayus that we work with, like most people work with, is prana vayu and apana vayu. So prana vayu is situated in the thoracic region above samana vayu. We discussed samana vayu earlier today. It's the one that's incorporated with twists, and it brings balance, and it's quite sattvic as well. So the flow of prana vayu is inward and upwards. So it nourishes the brain and the eyes, and it governs reception of food, air, senses, and thoughts. And this vayu is the fundamental energy in the body, and it directs and feeds into the 4 other vayus. So a technique to experience prana vayu is to close your eyes and to sit or stand with a neutral spine and relaxed body. And as you inhale, feel an energy flowing up the torso from the stomach to the 3rd eye. By doing this for 10 breaths and just staying aware of the breath, any sensations you feel. So does the feeling of energy flowing upwards increase? So apana vayu is situated in the pelvic floor, and it's below samana vayu, and its energy pervades the lower abdomen. So the flow of apana vayu is downward and out, and its energy nourishes the organs of digestion, reproduction, and excretion. So a technique to experience apana vayu is to close your eyes, to sit, to stand with a neutral spine and relaxed body, and as you exhale, feel energy flowing down the torso from the top of your head to the tailbone. And do this for 10 breaths and stay aware of the breath and any sensations you feel. Does the feeling of energy flowing downwards increase? So it's something that you could work with your students to get them aware of the prana within their bodies. So Vyana Vayu flows through the entire body and it controls circulation. Vyana Vayu is also related to our aura. It's our electromagnetic fields as well. So you need to have a healthy wee Vyana Vayu as well. Vyana Vayu, it would be in laterals and extensions would be good ones to work with for working with Vyana Vayu. It also brings in enthusiasm and growth for life. So it's another one. And there's, so I would say for Pranavayu, that would be opening up like back bends. You don't have to do full back bends, but that's like for prana, working with the inhale. Apanavayu is working with the exhale, it's forward bends. So Udana Vayu, that's really working with, it's in the throat area, and that's working with inversions more than anything. But if you work with anything to do with throat, you can work with Setu Bandhasana or something along that lines. A little bit of that. If you're, as long as you're not in, I think in second trimester you can work with Setu Bandhasana. You don't want to do too much of that when if you're in third trimester, you're not wanting to be on your back doing stuff like that. Okay, there's certain things you can still do. Like I would say it would be more dynamic, moving up and down, so it would be pelvic tilt, but you wouldn't be incorporate too much of that. But the anything to do with this area is Udana Vayu, and it controls the movement of the throat and facial expressions. But yeah, that it's very, very uplifting as well. It allows you to feel more positive about the future as well. It's one that I really worked with throughout the COVID situation. And then there's a Samana Vayu. It's situated in the abdomen. There's energy centered in the navel, and it governs the digestion and assimilation of nutrients and prana from air and food. But also is related to assimilation of learning as well. So it's assimilation in all ways, and digestion of all things, not just food and prana. Learning and thoughts and feelings and processing things. So awareness of one or more of the vayus has several applications in yoga, and it's more easily illustrated within a yoga posture. So with prana vayu, it creates a focus to lift, lengthen, and open the upper body. Apana vayu creates a focus to ground and stabilize the lower body. Vyana Vayu creates a focus of strength and fluid movement body. And Udana Vayu creates a focus to maintain a long spine and a correct posture. So we're going to move into, most of you guys will be aware, I don't want to make assumptions, but, I remember an Ashtanga teacher come to one of my retreats, and I was working with the chakras, and I remember she was a great Ashtanga teacher, but she'd never worked with the chakras before. It was a new thing for her. So I don't ever want to make assumptions. So I'm going to quickly speak to you. The base chakras, Muladhara chakra, it's the color red. It's grounding, safety, security, stability. It's where you are within a group or family. Moving up to the second chakra, it's the color orange, Svadhisthana chakra. It's your joy in life, your creativity, your emotions, one-to-one relationships. And then up to solar plexus, Manipura chakra, it's the color yellow, it's a burning flame. It's your personal power, your self-esteem, your relationship with yourself. And then Anahata chakra, it's the color green. It's love, compassion, forgiveness towards others and yourself. And then you have Vishuddha chakra in your throat area. It's the color blue. It's asserting yourself, speaking your truth, communicating well. Coming into Ajna or Agnya chakra, it's your wisdom, your intuition, your psychic abilities. And then we have Sahasrara chakra, your crown chakra, which is the color white. And this is your connection to everything, the universe, yourself. So some people have, oh no, this violet on the top and this is purple or indigo, but it work with the intentions as opposed to who's right or who's wrong. It depends what lineage you're at. You know, work, you know, if you don't agree, if it doesn't feel like white to you, I'm okay with you visualizing violet if that's what you've been taught. Okay, it's all fine. So we're going to speak about the endocrine system and the chakras. So the ductus glands of the endocrine system control a vast number of physiological processes via chemical communication network. So it's a complex part of the human body, which is still in the process of being understood. So as each of the 7 major chakras is associated with a particular endocrine gland, we're going to touch on them here. Okay, so the main endocrine glands. So each gland influences the production of particular hormones. The hormones secreted by each of these glands have a dramatic effect on human psychology. Consequently, imbalance in them can cause emotional as well as physical problems. So let's start with Muladhara chakra, the root chakra. So the endocrine glands that's related to that is the gonads. So that's ovaries in women and the testes in men. So they secrete the sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone in women, testosterone, you know what I'm trying to say. In men, it controls sexual development, sex drive, and fertility. And then we have the adrenal glands, and that is related to the second chakra. Okay, so they play a significant part in regulating the body's response to stress, balancing metabolism and the immune system. Then moving up to Manipura chakra, your third chakra. So this is the islets or the islets of the Langerhans. It sounds a little bit like a place that you would go and stay in holidays, a bit like the Hamptons or something, but no, these are glands. And they're the cells in the pancreas, which function as endocrine glands. And they secrete the insulin needed to metabolize sugar. Okay, so and then we're moving up into the heart chakra, Anahata chakra, and that would be the thymus gland. So it plays an important role in the development of the immune system in early life. And if you've done the children's yoga teacher training, you'll remember that. Then moving up to Vishuddha chakra, your throat chakra. This is the thyroid and the parathyroid glands. So the hormones control the rate at which cells burn fuel from food in order to produce energy. And then coming up to Ajna Agnya chakra, and the gland for that is the pituitary gland. And this is often called the master gland. So it makes the hormones that control several other endocrine glands. And then the last one that's correlated to the Sahasrara chakra, and that's the pineal gland. And it secretes a hormone that may help to regulate wake and sleep patterns. Okay, so it's something that I've studied. I've read so many books on chakras and I've taught so many things on the chakras. I love anything to do with the chakras. But something that I want to share with you is the 7-year cycles. So the 7 chakras relate to the 7-year cycles, which commence at birth with Muladhara, the root chakra, then they work upwards. So consequently, there are 7 times 7, 49 years of experience, where each period is associated with a specific chakra. So upon reaching the age of 50, a new 7-year cycle starts. I'm beginning back at Muladhara, but at a higher energy frequency. So life does begin at 50. There you go, guys. So it's going to be okay. I'm 48 this year. So it's going to begin again for me in 2 years. There we go. So therefore, we have a different kind of life experience as we start this 7-year cycle. So let's look at it. So Muladhara chakra, it's from years 0 to 7. This is coming from, so when we did the tantric hatha yoga, we were speaking about how the chakra correlates to life and babies and children, but this is coming from another perspective. So we're not saying that the other one is wrong and this is right. We're not saying this is wrong and the other one's right. It's different perspectives, and I find it very interesting, and you can apply what you feel is right. Okay, so 0 to 7 and age 50 to 56 is Muladhara chakra. So this is life force energy, stability, connection to the earth and material world, and initiating new beginnings. And then coming up to Svadhisthana chakra is age 8 to 14 and age 57 to 63. And this is creativity, sensuality, enthusiasm. And then moving up to Manipura chakra. So this is age 15 to 21, but also age 64 to 70. So this is development of personality and feelings, expansion and limitless possibilities and wisdom. And then moving into Anahata chakra, this is age 22 to 28 and age 71 to 77. So it represents love, selflessness, compassion, development of healing for the self and others, and working to heal the earth. So age 29 to 35 and 78 to 84 is Vishuddha chakra. So it's about communication, self-expression, independence, inspiration, openness to higher development, and speaking with wisdom. And then we're going to 36 to 42 and 85 to 91. Ajna or Agnya chakra, your third eye. This is realization of inner senses, intuition, responsibility, deepening life experiences. And it's moving up to the last chakra, Sahasrara chakra, your crown chakra. And that's from the age of 43 to 49 and also 92 to 98. This is a time of inner work, contemplation and meditation, unity and enlightenment. Okay, so yeah, so I just find the ages of these quite interesting, and I thought you might find it interesting too. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do a few little things here. We're going to work with a womb heart meditation. We're going to do a few Kundalini meditations. So some of the meditations that I put in your manual are Kundalini meditations, but they're not adapted for pregnancy. So hence the reason we're going to talk through the ones that are in your manual, because some of them incorporate Kumbhaka, and we're not wanting to work with Kumbhaka. So it's how we're going to adapt these ones to pregnant ladies. But they're very good fun. Okay, so let's move into a womb meditation. So you're going to get to yourself into a comfortable position. Now, I've actually got this womb heart meditation, the affirmations for pregnancy, and the poem, and some of these Kundalini meditation in your manual. Okay, so you don't have to take any notes with this. I just want you to feel it. So coming into a seated position, and your shoulders are back and down. The crown of the head is lifted, the chin is slightly tucked in, and just start to connect to your breath. So begin by placing both palms on your lower belly, your womb center, and just take some lovely, deep, soft belly breaths. Allow your deep lower belly to open to the breath, to receive the breath, to receive this moment. Now place your left hand on your heart center in the center of your chest and keep your right hand on your lower belly, your womb space or your womb heart. So your womb space behind your right palm is your center for nurturing a new life. Deep within your uterus is where the seed of love grows into a fully formed baby or idea. The womb space is sometimes called your womb heart because it's so closely connected to the energy of your heart center. And it has its own energetic beating heart. Your heart center behind your left palm is your epicenter for love. Deep, abiding, unconditional love. It has the capacity to keep opening and opening like a lotus flower, unfurling its petals in the sun, feeding yourself and others with love. There is a free flow of energy between these two energy centers. So stay connected to that and just find awareness of the connection of these two energies. So women are graced with what is often referred to as the womb heart. It relates to the beating heart through intuition and feelings. This legacy of love is so powerful that it's able to sustain a new life. The beating heart and the womb heart each hold the sacred essence of consciousness. Traumas that affect your heart can affect the uterus and the free flow of blood and energy between these two physical and energetic points in our body. So as you rest now, deeply into yourself, feel the sensations, the subtle permutations of energy beneath your left and right palms. Feel the flow of energy between these points, up and down your soft solar plexus. And know that this simple practice helps you to come home to yourself and allows you to embrace the divine in everyday life. I'm going to give you some affirmations for pregnancy. And you can repeat it back to me in your head after each time I've said it, if you like. I trust my body and I follow its lead. I feel confident, I feel safe, I feel secure. My mind is relaxed. My body is relaxed. I feel grounded and prepared. My body was designed to do this. My baby is strong and healthy. I am choosing to feel calm. I am focused on a smooth, easy birth. So keep connecting with your womb heart and your heart. I'm going to read you a poem called Imagine a Woman. Imagine a woman who believes it is right and good she is a woman who honors her experience and tells her stories, who refuses to carry the sins of others within her body and her life. Imagine a woman who believes she is good, a woman who trusts and respects herself, who listens to her needs and desires and meets them with tenderness and grace. Imagine a woman who has acknowledged the past's influence on the present, a woman who has walked through her past, who has healed into the present. Imagine a woman who authors her own life, a woman who exerts, initiates, and moves on her own behalf, who refuses to surrender except to her truest self and to her wisest voice. Imagine a woman who names her own gods, a woman who imagines the divine in her image and likeness, who designs her own spirituality and allows it to inform her daily life. Imagine a woman who honors the face of the goddess in her changing face, a woman who celebrates the accumulation of her years and her wisdom, who refuses to use her precious life energy disguising the changes in her body and life. Imagine a woman who values the women in her life, a woman who sits in circles of women, who is reminded of the truth about herself when she forgets. Imagine yourself as this woman. So slowly opening your eyes. So these pieces that I found they were quite, I think when you're teaching pregnancy yoga, there's a lot of they're kind of trying to find themselves a little bit before they become mothers. And yeah, I thought that these were quite nice readings to do, and that you could do them in Shavasana or begin with them, and they could use it as a theme. So just positive affirmations and positive poems about just embracing yourself as who you are. So that's in your manual, so you can use that. So let's do a little bit of Kundalini meditations now, which is always very good fun. So because there's a lot of fear in being pregnant, and there's also a lot of fear right now going on in the world. I've been using some of these and teaching some of my classes online to some of my guys right now, because some of the stuff that it's really relevant. There's, even if it's not you that's scared, there's the collective consciousness. So there's that. Yesterday I was saying, because of the planetary alignments, it's really building. We're moving towards the eclipse season now, which means that energies are getting even more crazy. We're building towards, so we're going to have a lunar eclipse and a full moon on the 30th. So it's moving. I think you'll just have completed doing this, and then we're straight into a full moon. So I think it's Monday. And if it's eclipse, it makes the energy bigger. So we're moving through a waxing moon right now. Energies are big, but there's the way that we're moving out of Scorpio season, which is that's our shadow work, all our dark secrets, and we're moving into Sagittarius. Everything's transitioning. The planets have been in retrograde for quite a long time. It started to station and go direct. Mars is in Aries. It's been going backwards. It's now stationed, and it's going to be moving forwards. Everything, and Neptune's involved this week. So there's lots of things going where people are feeling, as I said to my students yesterday, they're feeling wired and tired. And I don't know if you're feeling it too. I'm definitely feeling wired and tired. I work with the moon and the energies of the planets, and intuitively I practice and I teach according to this. And I study a lot of astrology now, and yeah, wired and tired is what's going on right now for a lot of people. So doing some of these helps to bring in the balance of that wiredness, tiredness. Yeah. So this first one is for leaving the fear and welcoming the challenge. So all you're doing is sitting cross-legged, and your hands are, so your hands like that. So you're coming out. So I'm sitting on the sofa here. Maybe I need to take this out a little bit further. There you go. So professional. Sitting here with my cats on my sofa. So all you're doing here with your breath is you're moving your hands to cross with the breath. Close your eyes. Try and keep your arms straight. So this meditation is for leaving the fear and welcoming the challenge. And kids and teens love these ones as well as all the yoga students love all these things. They're like, wait, there should be more of this in life. And as I say to my students when they're doing these things, if you feel an ache, it's because there's toxins in your body, but you're human, so don't worry about it. And then taking your fingers down into Gyan Mudra, close your eyes, connecting into your heart center, and just really feeling that difference in energy. Just a few minutes of doing that really changes things. Okay, so then the next one we're going to work with is an exercise for emotional balance. And again, that's another one that's really important. Before we do that, I'm going to share with you one that I work with a lot of my pregnant ladies, and a lot of, I think I work with a lot of my students, because, in this day and age, we do need to find balance with our emotions. You feel a little bit rattled sometimes. There's a lot of uncertainty. But by balancing Ida and Pingala, the the main nadis, the main nadi is Sushumna, where the chakras hang around. You place your hands underneath your armpit pits, but if you're up in the northeast of Scotland, we call them oxters. There you go. It's a mixture of Doric language with Sanskrit today for you guys. So you can put your hands under your oxters or your armpits. It depends where you come from. So to just balance Ida and Pingala, you can just massage concurrently your oxters. But a Kundalini technique of balancing the emotions it's like a lock here. So you're not tensing, you're bringing your shoulders up and tucking your chin in, but there's no tension there. And you're just going to close your eyes and just start smoothing out the breath. And automatically, this lock here makes your breath slow down. This is a Kundalini meditation for emotional balance that really allows you it automatically slows down the breath and brings balance into your body. So you can work with this one, making sure that they're not tensing. So a lot of people, if they're going to take their shoulders up to their ears, they'll ultimately tense. So it's not a tension. There's no tension here. It's a lock. Just connecting in with your breath. And it's actually quite soothing having your hands under your armpits, as you probably are feeling. There's some sort of comfort there. If you've got cold hands, it also warms up your hands. There you go. So you're multitasking. So releasing your hands down. So we're also going to do a more movement-based one for emotional balance. It also energizes by building your electromagnetic fields. This is Vijana Vayu. And it improves the balance in the hemispheres of your brain. So your whole body can adjust itself, which is always very nice. So you're coming up like this, and basically with the breath, your eyes are going to be closed, but not until I've shown you what to do. So you're moving your hands, your hands are not going to touch. It's like they're almost clapping with the breath, and then close your eyes. You can try and roll your eyes upwards to look through your third eye if you want to hear as well. And then take your hands down again, close your eyes. Smooth out the breath, checking in with yourself, seeing where you're at. Feel the difference in energy. Bring awareness to your heart center. You already, after doing a few of these, you already feel that difference in vibrational frequency, hopefully. Don't worry if you don't, there's no rights or wrongs, but working with these like Kundalini energies, it does help to lift that heaviness that sometimes, there's like an oppression in the air. Okay, so in your manual, I've put a couple of Kundalini meditations, but I'm going to go over them with you because these are just Kundalini meditations for if you're, some of them, they need to be adapted if you're pregnant because some of them involve kumbhaka. If you're teaching a general class and they're not pregnant, or they're postnatal, you're going to be okay. But so this is where I'm just trying to, there's some that are perfectly fine, but obviously, as I said, you're no breath retention. So the first one we're doing is it's realizing your power as a woman, which is always nice, isn't it? So basically, you're taking your two feet, it's a bit like you're giving a pledge of some sort, and then what you're doing is you're taking your right arm up like this, and this left hand is across your heart, but you're going to hug the right arm into your ear, keep the shoulders relaxed. Okay, and close your eyes. So actually your elbow is going to be pointing out. So you're going to have your left arm is parallel to the floor. Yeah. So close your eyes, connecting to your breath. And then what you're doing here is you're making your body into a solid state, making absolutely no movement, move no muscles, but mentally move your right arm in large circles without actually physically moving your arm. So the direction of the circles does not matter. So mentally, you're moving the right arm round in large circles. So you're trying to get it to hug into the ear. So there is like you're closing it into there. And you're really mentally, this big circles, but you're staying strong and solid. So this meditation can help you to realize the power you have as a woman. And if you can make your body physically standardized and have the mental power to cover the standard of it, you can move anything. What is it that moves? Mind over body. It's a simple development. It's something you should not forget. If a woman doesn't know how the mind can conquer and work on a body, she'll never be in a position to work on her own children. So you must know how to move an object, you must know how to convey the subject, and you must know how to move that object and how to convey the subject of the mammal called male. This is Yogi Bhajan saying that, and he turns out to be a bit of a dodger as well, actually. So these are the faculties and the facilities given a female by God, according to Yogi Bhajan. So Yogi Bhajan, the Kundalini yoga is great, but some of his behaviors have been been questioned. So the Kundalini Research Institute are not supporting Yogi Bhajan. They're supporting all Kundalini yoga teachers though. So Kundalini yoga is still an important thing. Okay, so if you're looking for any more Kundalini meditations, if you Google KRI or Kundalini Research Institute, you will find some more. But I do have a few more here for you. Okay, so this is the one that we need to adapt. So everything's in yellow writing here. So so this one is to dissolve your fears. It's another kriya to dissolve fears. So you're going to have your fingers in Gyan Mudra. So Gyan Mudra is this one. So your index finger and your thumb. And you're going to bend your left elbow comfortably at your side with your left hand in front of your heart center. So, and then your left hand is in a fist with the thumb. So you're going to curl your finger into a fist. So it's like that. So your right hand is your right hand is resting onto your right knee in Gyan Mudra. And again, it's in a fist as well. And you're going to inhale slowly, and here you're supposed to be holding, and then slowly exhaling. So you breathe exactly 3 times per minute. So that's like some of the Kundalini stuff. So some of you guys have done this with me before, where we've got to do this. You've got to do that at, was it 9 times per second? And it was like, oh, with breath of fire. So I think we set the intention. What we're going to do here is Gyan Mudra with your fingers here. So actually open up this hand and curl this one in. And instead of holding, what we're going to do is you're inhaling. Hold just for 1 second, just have that slight pause, which gives you that space. And then you're going to breathe out in just 3 segments. So you're going to inhale, hold for 1 second, and then 1, 2. So you're breathing out smoothly, but in 3 segments like this. Okay. So breathing in. Breathing in. So keep working with that. So it's a little bit different, and it's still working with this similar type of energy, and it's just adapting, and it's still going to be doing some of the same work. So that's how I would adapt that one if you're going to be working. And I would say, even if you're teaching other classes, if you're not a Kundalini yoga teacher, you don't want to be doing all this specific 3 times exactly with a minute, and you get caught up in your own head. I think I adapt according to the energetics, as long as you know what you're wanting to achieve. So when you work with 3 breaths in 3 segments, you can actually, if you start to really bring awareness into the breath, that's when you can actually do it in taking the breath in the 3 different places that the breath is in, and you're aware of how much breath you've got to hold on to before you let it go. And if you're lengthening out the exhale, you are going to be calming down the nervous system. That slight hold for that 1 second, that is when you access your inner teacher, Vijnanamaya Kosha. This is what it's that access. So the breath is a bridge to the mind is a bridge to the soul. So that slight pause there, it's not kumbhaka, it's just a slight pause. Allow that pause to connect. So once you start to really, if you practice it yourself first, and then you teach it, you can actually allow your students to start connecting into their inner teacher, which you really do need. As a mother, you need to believe in your own intuition so you can protect your cubs, you know, be the lioness that you are. So then there's a part 2 to this, and this is they're trying to, it involves kumbhaka, because I would say if you're not pregnant or if they're postnatal, this is a great one to do, if you want to do it the way that they instruct, but we're not going to do it that way, because we're going to modify it for pregnancy. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to inhale, take your arms up, and then you're meant to pump your hands down 8 times and then exhale. So, but that's kumbhaka, you know, we don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is inhale, exhale, and you can even work with your lion, the lion here. We're speaking about the lion cubs, really. So it's going to be help to release fears. So what we're going to do is breathe in and breathe out with a and then sitting and connecting with your breath. You really feel that difference there. It's a cleansing. That's a cleansing breath there. But working with it in the other way, you can do that with your students when they're not pregnant. Kumbhaka is not something that you would do. But obviously I popped that in because it's quite nice to adapt. Okay, and then there's the next part of this. So this is a cry up. So we've got a few different various things. So you can adapt these to the way you want to, so you can help to release the fear, or you can use this with your students. So the next part to this, you've got your index finger, you're pointing them out and curling the other fingers round. So and hold your middle finger with your thumb. So you like that. Okay, and then what you're doing here is you're beginning with your arms out, and you're circling them round and in, and then circling them out, closing your eyes. So you're circling them in, circling out. So this one is the demands and pressures of daily life have intensified, even though we have many conveniences available to us. So this meditation strengthens the nervous system so you can minimize feelings of feeling overwhelmed and afraid. Who would have thought just doing this stops you from feeling overwhelmed? How great, eh? There we go. You can imagine you've got a group of pregnant ladies and you're getting them to do this, and they're thinking, what the hell am I doing? So they're having a little smile to themselves, and smiling releases tension and releases fear and overwhelmment. So why not? Great. Okay. And then taking your hands down. Okay. So another nice one to do that's really good for, most of you guys have done this with me before, good for calming down the system and making you feel calm, and it does involve a mantra. And because we're moving, so many people keep putting their Christmas trees up. I think you've got your Christmas tree up, haven't you, Laura? Did you get one sent to you? Yeah, it's so cute. That's so nice. Is that romantic little gesture? Oh, see, your cards are right. So you take your arms out like this. So this is this, I call this one, you know, we've been Mr. Bean thrusting, and now we're going to do the Santa Claus one. So you'll see why I call it the Santa Claus one in a minute, because we're going to do this. Ho, 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 ho. Breathing in, breathing out. Close your eyes, just feel that difference in vibrational frequency. Okay, so we've got one last one we're going to do with you. And this one is for opening your heart. So I love working with the heart chakra. And this one involves mantra as well, so mantras. So it's 3 different positions. So it's sat, car, tar. And it's car with a kicking ki, okay? Sat, car, tar. 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 Placing your hands down, and again, closing your eyes. Just connecting in with your breath, connecting into the prana that's moving through your body. And then taking your hand, one hand onto your womb heart, one hand onto your heart. Connecting in with your baby again. Just connecting in. If you're not, you know, if there's no baby there, we're also connecting into our womb centers. So I did a lot of shamanic womb healing just before I had a hysterectomy last August. Not last August, it was the August before, so it's just over a year ago. And I did a lot of healing work before my hysterectomy and then after. And you know, very much I don't feel a sense of loss. The pranic energy is still there. So really just bring awareness to the thankfulness. We hold a lot of emotions, memories stored. As women, we need to work more with activating that area. So even like being aware of with your mind, smoothing out the pelvic bowl. So imagine that you're smoothing out your pelvic bowl. Like it's like maybe like clay, and you're molding it and making it nice and smooth. You're cleaning it out. You're rid of any fears, emotions that you're holding on to in there. Just spring cleaning your pelvic bowl. Then taking your hands into your heart center, into Anjali Mudra. And then placing your hands up to Ajna chakra. Just bringing gratefulness and gratitude towards your inner teacher. And then back into your heart. And bringing gratitude and thanks just for the present moment and for being here now. Namaste. So thank you so much for today. It's been lovely to spend time with you as usual. We've got lots and lots and lots of stuff to work through. I'm quite excited to share with you. So hopefully you feel you learned something today. I never want to overwhelm, but remember, if you feel overwhelmed, you know what to do. You've got your Kundalini meditation to sort that out. So I'm going to post a few little things onto your into the group, and today's recordings and your exam papers as well, if you'll be wanting to get going with that, some of you. But okay, and I think that's us for the day. Yes.
I'm really sorry. Tomorrow, I've just got a work appointment for the first hour. Now, I don't want to be rude and interrupt halfway through. I don't normally work a Friday, but I just had to book a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I can either if it would be better for you, I'll just do the whole morning catch up, because I wouldn't want to come in at 10, 10:15.
You can come in whenever. Sometimes, because normally we'll do like the morning practice. So today, because it was the first day, we did a introduction, but we normally come in at about 9, do the practice, and then we have a little cuppa, and then we come back for the morning lecture. So so you can come in for the morning lecture and check in with us. Just I can't seem to find the meeting room thing, keeping the meeting room open, but just I'll keep checking and see where you're at. And when we have stop for our cuppa after a practice, it tends to be about 10:30. We stop for practice. So, and then about 10:45 we come back to do our lecture. So that's what I'm aiming for tomorrow. So if you're wanting to come in about 10:45, that would be lecture time. So we'll probably do our morning practice 9 to 10:30. So
if that's all right with you and everyone, that would be lovely.
Yes, it'd be lovely to see you. So thank you so much for today, guys. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, to sharing more things with you and having fun. And I hope you have a lovely evening tonight as well. Okay.
And you.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.